a little random tidbit of wisdom while I have my afternoon coffee. This is a little break from tarot. We all know that tarot is going to reflect back to you what your lived experience is. If you want different results, you have to do different things, period. And tarot is simply a reflection of what you already know. So, if you seriously want to up-level your life, and this isn't a gimmick, this isn't some manifestation technique. Well, it kind of is. It's just my personal experience with changing who I am. I'm going to tell you a story. When I want to say, I was in elementary school. I was maybe like 10 or 11 or something like that. And I was in school and we had these projects. And I don't remember specifically what it was, but they were writing prompts. They were, like little creative writing assignments that we had. And I had one in particular, I remember, where I wrote down about who I wanted to be. And I was liked to create stories and liked to be a writer. So I remember specifically writing about how I wanted to be an A type. I didn't know what an A type was then, but I wrote specifically, I want to get up early in the morning and I want to jog and I want to be, basically, there was some part of me as a child that knew I was not the type to get up early and jog and be the A type. That wasn't really me, but I wrote down that that's what I wanted. I want to be that person. And that's all you have to do. You have to write it down. You have to write down and visualize who you want to become, what you want to be. Like, let's say, for example, because you have to be realistic as well. Because if you write down on a piece of paper, I want to be a millionaire, first of all, that's probably not realistic. You have to be realistic with the things that you like to visualize, okay? And you do have to write them down, and you do have to forget about them. But you have to also be able to see yourself doing it, see yourself living it. It has to be something that incrementally you can change and you can do. So, for example, if let's take away that I want to be a millionaire, because everybody wants to be a millionaire. If you sit down and write over and over again, I want to be a millionaire, I want to be a millionaire, that probably won't happen because everybody's trying to manifest that. And it's a really big ask, number one. Also, because you want to be careful because you don't want to put something in your energy field that could be dark. Like the way that could happen for you might not be, might not be illegal. So something that's realistic, a goal that you want, like I see a version of myself in my head. That version of myself in my head is 20 pounds lighter. And you write it down, okay? I want to be fit. I want to be 40 pounds lighter. That's an example of something that you can create that's a realistic. Or I want to be a confident person who's good at flirting and who can attract people. I want to be charismatic. You write that down. You write it down. And these are affirmations, but it's also authoring your story and it's changing the narrative in your head. So, along with writing these things down, you're going to slowly become that because you're going to start visualizing it. You're going to start seeing yourself doing it. And then the baby steps, because you have to actually do things in real life to become that way. But for me, when I was little, when I wrote that I wanted to be this A-type person, I didn't even know what that was. It really took me a long time to manifest it. So that's the other thing. On a quantum level, these shifts that occur, there's like the old versions of you that you have to shed away for that to happen. And it doesn't always happen overnight. So there's some kind of divine timing with these things and certain lessons that you have to learn and certain people that you have to meet. So Yes, you can do it. You can visualize a new reality for yourself. You can actually make it happen. It's not some kind of weird magic spell. It's not some kind of manifestation. I mean, it kind of is, but it's really just journaling, authoring your story, and creating that narrative in your head. And the visualization part of it is very important because if you can't see yourself living that reality, you probably were never doing that in the quantum field, because what we're doing is, there's parallel universes like Neo in the Matrix, right? We're in other realities, we're in quantum realities all at the same time. So there's a version of you in the quantum field doing that thing, being that person that you want to be, okay? Having, maybe you want the house and the car, the American dream, maybe that's what you want. And if that's attainable for you, not something that's completely ridiculously unattainable, there's probably a version of you out there. So if you visualize it and you can't see yourself doing it, you might want to readjust it to something, to whatever goal or, timeline is more realistic for who you are, for what you could potentially be. Okay. And yeah, it's really, really very simple. And writing things out, I don't know if you guys ever watched The Simpsons, but there's all these memes about how, reality is like a Simpsons episode because they predict things. And, there's a lot of different authors like Conan O'Brien, a lot of different writers on there, and they've predicted things. But life imitates art. And it's 100% true that if you put something out there of how you want to be or what you want to do, a version of yourself, it will manifest in due time if you believe that you can have it. So start small, start simple, write it out, tell that narrative to yourself about who you want to be and how you want to create it, and visualize it, see it, feel it, and do the small things that you need to do to create it, to make it happen. And you can change your reality, but be warned that be careful what you wish for. Okay? See yourself in it. See the downside to the things that you create, because it's not always butterflies and rainbows. Like for example, I want to manifest a house. Well, there's property taxes. And you have to make a certain amount of money. There's repairs. It's not easy. You have to see the downfalls to the things that you want to create. You have to see the good side and the bad side to fully realize that dream, to fully realize that visualization. Okay? So try it out. Let me know how it goes, you guys. All right, I'm going to get on out of here. I'm going to go do my run, and I'll see y'all later. Bye.